could you have ever imagined that your career would have turned into what it did?
Well, I didn't even want to be a coach. So I got talked into it by my college coach. I'd worked at my dad's service station working on cars. And that's what I wanted to do when I graduated from school, get a dealership and, sell cars and all that. And after our last game, he calls me in and says, I want you to be a graduate assistant. Because I was a little bit like you. I played safety, made all the calls, was kind of the smart guy out there, which you were all the time. You made more plays than I did, and I said, I don't want to go to graduate school and I don't want to be a coach. So why in the hell would I ever want to be a GA? But he talked me into it and I loved it. It was like playing, you're involved in the competition, the relationships with the players, being part of a team, all the great things that we all experienced, playing. Even though it was hard, there was a lot of great things. So I just kept doing it. And I always looked at it like one of these days you're going to grow up and do something else, kind of thing. Just like when you play, you always know that there's a time when that's going to end. So, but one thing led to another, being a coordinator at Michigan State, then being a head coach at Toledo, going in the NFL. So, and I loved 50 years of it. I loved it. And it was really the relationships with the players, being part of a team, that was the thing that I liked the most. We never had a quarterback, and we had Drew Brees there ready to sign, and the doctors failed him on a physical, and I was like,
how did that conversation, Coach, how did that conversation go when you were trying to get Drew Brees and they failed him on the physical?
Well, he was there. He was all set.
I was in the locker room when him and Pep came through.
That's exactly right. And, the last thing before you sign a contract, you go get a physical. So I'm like, this is all done. And then they call me on the phone and say, we don't think he could play. But Dr. Andrews in Birmingham did his surgery and also did it on Culpepper. He did both guys. And I flew to see him because I wanted, before we ever went down this road, to see what his thoughts were, because I had a lot of respect for him. He's an LSU guy, all right? And I've known him for years. So I flew up there and talked to him, and he said, Drew Brees will be fine.